Well, Grant, how tough has this week been? Obviously, the departure of an assistant manager, but the departure of a friend of yours as well.
Yeah, it's disappointing to see a good man lose his job, but I think it was probably 4 or 5 weeks ago. I think I touched on it in the press conference with yourself about everybody was under scrutiny, players, staff, everybody really, and unfortunate it's come to this. But we've united this week in terms of had a good word with the boys on Monday, and when we left the room, it seemed that everyone was united and disappointed to see Glove go, but it is what it is, and we've got to move on very, very quickly, and we will do that. We've got 7 games left. We want to almost make it like a little mini 7-game season for ourselves. There's been a lot of talk of our performances probably from January onwards, and they haven't been good. In terms of everybody. I mean, everyone hasn't performed. I'm not just talking about the players, I'm talking about everybody. And we want to try and make sure we finish strongly to the end of the season, and that's our only aim.
And it was obviously a decision taken at board level. That's been made public. A decision, I guess, that maybe you didn't back, but just have to accept. Is that fair?
Well, listen, the chairman owns a club. The chairman can make any decision he wants to make, and that includes me, my staff, everybody. Players, no one's ever safe, and that's the world of football these days, really. But you got to be big enough and strong enough to stand up to it and make sure you react to it. That's the most important thing. I've been in this situation before where I've taken games almost by myself, and obviously with Tiles and Faz in the background as well helped me out. So we've all united this week. We'll all stick together and we'll all go to Gillingham in positive spirits and hopefully get a win.
And it's a case of waiting until the summer now before bringing in a number 2. That's right, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. There'll be no rush made into it, and we'll make sure we point out one that can come in and help and know the ethos of the football club. That's probably the most important thing. But there's no rush in terms of that. We just want to make sure we concentrate in Gillingham.
I know you were instrumental in bringing Lee in. Will you have a big input into who comes in the summer? Will that be a board decision, collective? How will that work?
Collective. Everything's always collective. Like I said to you at the start of the season, regardless of a signing or anybody leaving the club, it's always a collective. Everyone has to be on the singing off the same hymn sheet, and I think we have been in a whole. So we need to make sure we continue that, and that needs to continue in the next season. I'm really pleased that the chairman has his full backing and faith in me, and I appreciate that. And I just want to repay him in terms of results. I know they haven't been good enough. I haven't been performed. The players haven't performed from January onwards for reasons that we probably know that will stay in house. But we need to make sure we react now for the next 7 games.
So Tyler will be in the dugout with you alongside Farrell. I think that's what you said.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, listen, Tyler's in terms of whether he'll play or not, I'll make a decision not tomorrow. Luke's come back this week. I've given him a couple of days and he's trained brilliant today. I think the little break done him the world of good. So we'll have a look at him or Tyler, for the weekend. And Faz is always in and around it anyway. He comes to most games, especially the home games, but good knowledge of the football club and understands everything.
And you mentioned about McGee having a mental break as much as anything. So is it a case of sort of sitting down with him and assessing where he is mentally, as well as what you see on the training ground, which, as you said, has been positive?
No, I've seen Luke this morning. He seems a lot more bright, bubbly. Like I said to you, it's difficult. It is his first loan. He was just mentally drained. Really, he was just tired and. Game after game after game, and I just felt as if he needed a little fresh, a little break. He's come back in this morning and he looked top drawer again in training. So it's and listen, I know it's only training, but we'll make sure that we'll get him right for the weekend.
Is the goalkeeper situation quite a pressing priority when the summer comes around? Because assuming Luke will go back, obviously I think Dion Henry's out of contract in the summer as well. Is finding a new number 1 sort of top of your list really?
Yeah, massive priority really. We looked in the summer of trying to bring in a permanent one, obviously when Ben left, but it wasn't to be. And to be fair, Luke's come in, he's been great right up to a certain point, as of most of the players, and right up to a certain point in January. But again, maybe it just took its toll on a few. But that definitely is a priority. We're out definitely looking at games all the time. We've got a list of probably 4 or 5 goalkeepers who we've targeted already. We'll make sure we watch them till the end of the season. Try and make contact with one or two of their agents and see if any deals are viable. So that's probably one of the big priorities for the summer.
And you'd like to get that done as soon as the season finishes, I guess.
Of course, yeah. I mean, it's not ideal. Obviously, Tyles is coming to, he's 40 years of age nearly in a couple of weeks' time, and young Dion's is going to be a good goalkeeper. He is. There's no two ways about that. He's going to be a good goalkeeper. He's been in a Crystal Palace training for a couple of weeks. He's going to go back again for another game. They want to have a look at him again. So there's definitely potential in there. But he just needs to play. He played a lot of first team games at Boston, I think, in the early part of the season. It helped him. But again, he's come back and hasn't had many games, because the 21 games are every 2-3 weeks at the minute. Although we've tried to arrange a few friendlies, and the goalkeeping situation is definitely a big priority for us.
How's Taylor? Came off with a hamstring injury at the weekend. How's he been this week?
Yeah, he hasn't trained most of the week. He came out and did a bit today, and trained and joined in. So we'll keep a close eye on him over the next couple of days and see if he's good to go for the weekend.
But what you do have, of course, is Maddison, who I guess is available to come back in. Came on at the weekend, gets an assist. I know he has his detractors, but the fact is, I think he's 16 assists now for the season and 7 goals as well.
Listen, Marcus is that. You probably look at him some days and Monday to Friday and you think, but when you see him on a Saturday, he always delivers. I've said that to him constantly, and he either sets a goal up or he's involved in a goal, or he's probably him would be disappointed he hasn't got more goals than he's got. But every time we come into a room after a game, and every management staff in the country we speak to, they always speak about him in terms of how big of a threat he is for us, and we all know how big of a threat he is when he's on his game, and it's down to us to keep trying to get his game out of him.
Is there a decision to be made up front this weekend? Because Junior Moraes came on, didn't he, on Saturday? He looked to visibly lift alongside Maddison, the team and the crowd, and obviously popped up with another goal as well.
I said to you last week, Junior had been knocking on the door, and he still is. Good competition. He knows he's up against Craig and Tom, who have scored as well in previous games. So there's good competition up in the forward end of the pitch. It's good for me to have that, a decision to make on them three, which two I play. But they're all fighting for the place in the team. They're all great lads. They all want to work hard. They want to put a shift in, and they want to score goals, which is good. So. Definitely a decision to be made up there as well.
Gillingham are a side who, obviously they're still in the relegation battle, really, aren't they? I saw their manager earlier today saying how massive a game it is for them at the weekend, calling on their supporters to come out in force and really get behind them. So you're going to go to a place where the season is still very much alive, and they're scrapping, as Oldham were, really for points to stay up. The
season's very much still alive for us. To be honest with you, I'm not too worried about what Gillingham think. I'm only thinking about us. It's a mini set. We've got 7 games to go. Take the playoff talk out of it. We want to make sure we finish strong. From the outside looking in, people will probably still say you've got a chance. You're 8 points off it. We just want to make sure we go to Gillingham in high spirits. We want to go there and play the right way. Try and create some chances and score some goals, and we'll be doing that. We'll be all out to do that the weekend. Over the last couple of games. I think you've seen probably signs of our performances coming back, in terms of the chances we've created, and we just didn't take them. But if we can continue to play the way we're playing like that and take few of the chances that that do come our way, then I'm sure we can go to Gillingham and win.
Yeah, it's 2 unbeaten, isn't it? I know it's only 2 games, but you're just building a little mini unbeaten run, which obviously is important off the back of a tough period of results.
We need some wins. 2 unbeaten is 2 draws. It doesn't get you anywhere. If they had been 2 wins, you're sitting 3 or 4 points off the top 6 then. So it's we need wins. That's what we need, and that's what we'll be doing to the end of the season. We'll be going all out to try and win as many games as we can, and see where it takes us.
I know you always try and go at teams, but I know Gillingham ship a few, don't they? I think they've got the worst defensive record in League One. Do you remind your players of that and mention that if you get one early, it might lead to a few more? Of
course. I mean, we've seen that they've conceded 10 goals in the last 3 games. We want to try and take advantage of that. It's never easy, it's easy saying, they've conceded 10 in 3 games. But it's never easy, you're going away from home, it's difficult. But the players will be well drilled about that tomorrow. They have been already. We need to make sure we go and try and take advantage of any mishaps that they have from the in their back four or back five if they play that, and take the opportunities that come our way. We have conceded early too much for my liking, and probably conceded first, probably from January a lot, and we want to make sure we turn that now, so that I think when we score, I think it Ben threw a stat to me the other day, when we score we seem to go on and don't lose a game or win the game. So we need to make sure we score first, and that'll be the priority getting into the game. And
we mentioned Taylor. What about other injuries? How's everyone else?
Yeah, Ryan Tafazoli's still struggling a little bit. We thought he would have probably trained the early part of this week, but hasn't. So we're waiting on him. So we'll know more probably later on this afternoon on him. Apart from him, we've got Jermaine and Guion, but everyone else seems fine.